I said to the whole world I didn't need that lawyer anymore, forgetting I once loved him to death. They say pride goes before a fall, but I didn't just collapsed, face first, in front of 1,000 reporters and a man whose voice once made me tremble. And as the courtroom doors swung shut behind me, I realized the only person I was trying to convince was myself. I used to love Ethan Carlisle like a religion, a beta with a voice like midnight bourbon and a mind sharp enough to ruin you. He was my lawyer, my protector, my secret obsession. Now, I was standing on the witness stand, swearing under oath that I had severed every last thread that connected us. I lied. 3 months ago, I was nothing but a scandal. An Omega pop star with a contract war, a leaked video, and an ex-agent threatening to tear my career limb from limb. My world was imploding until Ethan walked back into it. Tie crisp, eyes unreadable, hands trembling just a little when they touched mine. "You shouldn't have called me," he said that night, standing on my balcony. Rain streaked across his cheeks like he was trying to wash away the past. "I didn't," I said. "Liar. God, I was, still am. We had history, ugly, burning, beautiful history." Ethan represented me during my breakout years, back when I was just Jamie Lane, the small-town boy with stars in his voice and demons in his head. He helped build me. Then he broke me. Left me in the middle of a lawsuit I barely understood, 2 weeks before I went public with our relationship. He called it ethics. I called it betrayal. Now he was back because I was cornered. My new legal team collapsed. The case was hemorrhaging. And the only person brilliante or foolish enough to take me on was him. The court was a battlefield. My former agent, Dawson, had the media on his side, fabrications in hand, and one hell of a PR team. Ethan had me, and his impossibly calm voice that turned chaos into clarity. But outside those walls, things were never calm. Not between us. "You still sleep with the window open?" he asked one night, in the apartment he once called home. "You still judge every drink I make?" I shot back. He smiled. "Only when you stir instead of shake." We were poison and nostalgia. I hated him. I missed him. The trial dragged on for weeks. My secrets were paraded like circus acts. Ethan shielded me at every turn, sometimes with legal jargon, sometimes with his own body when paparazzi rushed us outside court. But the tension was always there like a spark trapped in glass. Then came that day. Dawson's team brought up the old texts, the ones I wrote to Ethan during our breakup, the ones where I swore I'd never forgive him, where I said I'd rather burn than have him represent me again. "Is that still how you feel, Mr. Lane?" the opposing counsel asked. I looked at Ethan. He gave nothing away, not even a flicker. I opened my mouth, closed it. I swallowed. "Yes," I said, and it sounded like blood. The gallery gasped. Headlines exploded. I was trending in under 6 minutes. That night, Ethan didn't come back to the apartment. I waited. I paced. I stared at our old photo on the wall, the one he never took down. The next morning, he submitted a request to be recused from the case. That was when I stood on the courthouse steps, microphones in my face, and said it loud enough for the gods to hear. "I don't need Ethan Carlisle anymore. I don't want him anywhere near me." But God, I lied. I barely slept for the next week. Every legal meeting without him felt like walking blindfolded through a minefield. My new counsel was adequate, but not him. The trial teetered on disaster. Then one night I found it. The letter, tucked under my door, folded like a prayer. "Jamie, I left not because I stopped loving you but because I knew I never could. Not quietly, not ethically, not without losing myself. You were always more than a case, more than a client. You were the one decision I never stopped regretting. But if you ever want me back, not as your lawyer, but as the man who never stopped watching over you, I am one phone call away." He couldn't breathe. That morning I withdrew my statement. I begged the judge to reinstate Ethan as my representative. She hesitated. But Ethan walked in anyway, without a summons, without fear, and with his tie undone like a man who had nothing left to lose. "You shouldn't be here," I whispered as he stepped beside me. He smiled. "You called me." The final trial day came fast. Dawson was smug. His lawyer even smugger. But Ethan? Ethan made the room fall silent. He dissected their lies with surgical precision, exposed tampered evidence, cornered witnesses without raising his voice. When he finished his closing argument, the entire gallery stood. Even the judge looked shaken. Verdict: not guilty. Damages awarded. Case closed. Outside, the sky cracked with thunder. I turned to him. "Why did you do it?" I asked. "After everything I said, after how I hurt you, why?" He looked at me, and for the first time, there was no lawyer in his eyes. Just the boy who used to make pancakes at 2 a.m., who whispered contracts into my hair, who once kissed me before a red carpet and said, "I'd give up the whole world for you." "Because I never stopped loving you," he said. The rain hit like applause. Cameras flashed. Reporters screamed. But I didn't care. I stepped into him, pressed my forehead to his, and for the first time in years, I let myself feel everything I'd buried. Love, regret, hope. We weren't perfect. We were messy, public, and reckless. But we were real, and that mattered more than anything else. Now, every time someone asks me if I regret what happened, I just smile. I don't regret loving Ethan Carlisle. I only regret lying to the world when all I ever wanted was to love him out loud. Thank you for listening. If you find it interesting, please like and subscribe to follow the next stories.